Alescia.
Raise your hand if you were expected to go to college. You can put your hands down. Whether it was a requirement from your parents, peer pressure from your friends, or an obligation or goal you set for yourself, many times other options aren't even explored. In our Brewster High School class of 2023 alone, 78% are continuing their education after high school. These checkpoints in life and failure to meet them are criticized from birth. If you aren't able to walk by one or talk by two, you're labeled as slow or delayed. You're almost immediately put into speech therapy or overwhelmed by strangers reaching at you, begging you to inch towards them. On the other hand, if you mutter a sound that can be twisted into becoming mom or dad earlier than others their age, you are stamped a future genius. Moving on a few years, I'm sure all of you remember the reading tests we had to take in ELA to determine what grade level we could read at. When the scores came back, my entire class bragged about how high theirs was compared to everyone else's. This is one of the only things I remember from elementary school, comparing myself to others and how well I fit society's mold on how I should be at that age. I was 2 grade levels ahead in maths in 7th grade, trying to get ahead and compete with everyone else when it wasn't even a race or a competition to begin with. From then on, that's exactly how I lived my life. I was shaped and pushed to be exactly what everyone around me wanted me to be without a second thought. I studied for hours upon hours to get good grades and awards that I was praised for, but never once stopped to realize why I was doing those things. College. You need to start getting good grades now so you can get into a good college, and colleges love to see community service and extracurriculars were sentences that became so regular and normalized. I picked out my dream college when I was 7, barely even knowing what college was. I planned my life down to the career I wanted, age I wanted to get married and have kids, and even my plans for after I retired. I spend much of my time, as I'm sure you do too, planning for the future. It's not until now that I have stopped and taken a step back to really see and analyze where I am in my life and what I'm unhappy with. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to college or that you should do things differently from everyone else. However, it's important to thoroughly think through all of your options and understand the necessary and unnecessary steps to get there. There are countless successful people who went against everyone's beliefs and advice and still achieved their major personal goals in life. With hard work and perseverance towards your own personal goal, you can accomplish just about anything. In my opinion, that's one of the most important things you can do. Recognize your own goal. I know, easier said than done. Life gets in the way in ways we couldn't expect or prepare for, but it's vital to keep working through it no matter what the situation. You could not get the job you applied for or not get into your dream school that you had from when you were a kid, but my experience was a little different. It was one of the biggest and life-altering hurdles I've ever faced. For the past 8 years, I've experienced firsthand how drastically your health can affect your life. Everyday things you do, like going out to dinner with your family or planning a day trip, were taken away quicker than you could have imagined. My mom was diagnosed with countless autoimmune disorders and health conditions that took away every normal aspect of our life and my family's life. I've seen her go through the hardest times of her life, whether she couldn't eat due to random allergic reactions, couldn't get out of bed for months, and losing the ability to work at her business that she has been building from the ground up since I was a kid. It has taken her years to learn how to live with this and work up step by step, and she now manages to fill her days with things that keep her busy and make her days meaningful, even without everything she used to love. Fast forward to last summer, out of the blue, I wasn't able to eat for a week straight. This was the scariest week of my life, not knowing what could possibly be wrong. I later learned that I inherited everything from my mom. And although my condition is not as progressed as my mom, I refused to wake up every day scared of what could happen. I had to work 10 times harder to get out of bed and work towards everything I had wanted my whole life, just like everyone else. My mom became my biggest inspiration in every aspect of my life. By seeing everything she goes through and how strong it has made her, when it would have been so much easier to give up and accept the label of being sick, letting it be an excuse for a lack of motivation or drive, I have never been more encouraged to continue chasing after my dreams. Instead of looking at it as a step back, it's simply a change and shift in how I live my life today and in the future, and it helps me figure out what goals are now more important for me to achieve. There were days that I wished over and over again that I could live an average life just like everyone around me, but now I've learned to embrace everything that's different around me. If everyone's life purpose was the same, us as a human race would accomplish absolutely nothing. It may take someone 50 years to understand what they're meant to do in life, and others may know it from a child. Although it is impossible to pause your life, by taking frequent breaks, even just a few minutes here or there, to determine where you are and where you want to be, can drastically change your life. People who don't have a goal that they're working towards often experience many more mental setbacks, although they might not realize it or recognize it. When people are unsure about what they want to do in life, many problems like lack of motivation, excess stress or anxiety, and severe depression occur most of the time. Since people are so unsure about it, they decide that sweeping it under the rug and ignoring it is the best option, but with this mindset, 30 years tends to go by in the blink of an eye without any stride towards an interesting or desired life. When people do have a goal set in life, it's frequently directed towards the collection of physical objects. People prioritize belongings like money, cars, houses, all of these things that are thought to bring happiness rather than meaningful objectives. Proven by many studies, these are some of the most common habits of chronically unhappy people. I know I've been going on and on about this issue, but there still is a chance to change your life and unhealthy patterns to lead you to a happier and more opportunistic future, but there are certain steps that have to be taken soon. The first step is figuring out your goal. This could be as simple as your goal for tomorrow being to walk 10,000 steps or completing all of your homework. Something as small as getting up in the morning is usually a good start. By having something to work towards, not only is it added motivation to keep improving and keep working, it makes you feel so much better when it's accomplished. Many people even write down their lists or goals because crossing it off with a pen is a visual sign of their achievement. After figuring out your goal, it helps by breaking it down into smaller steps to make it less big and scary. If you have a huge task in front of you, many get overwhelmed, procrastinate, and even ignore the task hoping that it'll go away. By doing that, absolutely nothing gets done. I'll give you an example. If your task is cleaning the entire house, you can divide it into cleaning the kitchen counter and then vacuuming the floors and fixing the pillows on the couch. These checkpoints will help you work towards your main goal of cleaning the house without the discouragement of everything needed to do to get to that larger objective. This mindset can be put towards any goal, helping you accomplish anything. Another crucial step to rediscovering your own self-worth and identity is getting out of your everyday routine. Yes, staying busy can help you feel better and more accomplished, but getting stuck in the same routine over and over again can make 30 years go by so quickly. And this can be anything from waking up an hour earlier to go on a walk or planning a beach day with your friends on your day off. These are the moments that we compile together to find out what truly matters to us and what we want to include and remove from our future. In the one life we get, every person is so distinctive and unique. Walking down the hallway or the street, a majority of people dress the same and act the same and have the same overall plan or life. Many decide to base their life off of others because of the fear of being judged or embarrassed. They'd rather camouflage themselves into society, getting by through life being neutral, nothing more and nothing less. However, that small percentage of people who make their own style and make their own plan based on no one other than themselves will have a happier and more fulfilling life that's personalized to them. The perception of others helps us make many of our decisions because of the social status and social expectations placed on us by no one other than ourselves. In essence, we are the main reason that we are so hyper-focused on every little thing we do when it causes us more harm than good. By removing the strain on ourselves, we are able to see the world for what it truly is, without the crowdedness of our mind getting in the way of every goal and task that we set for ourselves. The world is a place where anything is possible, with opportunities that are so amazing and the happiness that we've worked so hard all of our lives to get to. Once we start working towards our own individual potential, we can achieve things that we've only ever dreamed about, and this can lead towards a more happier and fulfilling life for all of us.